Get this show going. So, hello everyone. Thank you so much for being here in this webinar for the second conference of lifestyle medicine. It's going to be in Monterrey, Mexico. We're very excited. And well, Dr. Hans Diehl is one of the most influential people in the world of lifestyle medicine, epidemiologist, professor, creator of the CHIP program, and will really needs no introduction. And we're very happy that both him and Petras are here with us today. Petras, why don't you introduce yourself to our crowd?
Okay, well, very simply, I'm involved with the activities with the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, with responsibilities for the European Union and also the Middle East, and I guess the not only the function but the purpose of, I guess, my being with the American College of Lifestyle Medicine is basically to, I guess, promote and introduce people with what lifestyle medicine is all about. So that's, I guess, in short, in a nutshell way, pretty much what I do and what I am.
And when we travel, he's usually my bodyguard.
yeah. When they beat me up, Hans saves me.
That's amazing, guys. Thank you so much. So what do we start with first? The video or the questions? Dr. Hans, you have the floor.
Well, we have been very concerned in Western medicine that with the abundance of chronic diseases like heart disease and hypertension and cancer and diabetes, we really have no very good medical answers. As a matter of fact, these diseases are all chronic diseases. They're incurable medical care and methods. And so that's where then lifestyle medicine comes in as the new way to prevent, arrest, and also reverse and successfully treat these modern killer diseases. So we're very excited of what you folks are doing in Mexico, where the lifestyle medicine movement has found a home with you folks.
Thank you, Dr. Hans. Is Petras still? Yes, there he is. So I don't know if how do you want the itinerary to go for today, Dr. Hans?
Well, we were thinking to show you a 30-minute video clip, a film that we made to talk about the developments in Lithuania, where we begin to realize that it is very important in Lithuania to augment the medical care system with lifestyle medicine to better treat those chronic diseases. And so they have done some great job. Petras was born in Lithuania. He's a retired executive. He is the one that started the ball rolling that maybe we should do something in Lithuania, where heart disease was climbing very rapidly after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1990. So that's where we are today, and we wanted to just give you some idea of how a whole country is beginning to gradually, progressively shift towards including lifestyle medicine concepts, which deals with the causes of these diseases, that deals with the lifestyle aspects, with the culture, and that we need to transform our culture to become more health supportive rather than health erosive. And so if everything goes well, we hope to have Dr. Thomas with us, who is one of the leaders in Lithuania that is promoting these kind of concepts of lifestyle medicine within the medical care system and medical schools. And he is the director of a master's degree program in lifestyle medicine. So Lithuania offers the first master's degree in lifestyle medicine in the world. It's a 1.5-year program, and Dr. Thomas is the director of that program, and hopefully he can join us.
Yes. So do you want to go ahead and play the video?
Go
You can
ahead.
share your screen.
Go ahead.
Do I have it?
I think you do.
Okay, let me see. The Velvet Revolution, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, you sent it via WeTransfer a few months ago, and I downloaded it, but I don't think I have it. I sent it to a hard drive. I don't know if you have it on hand.
Oh, that would be too bad.
Yeah, let me go for my hard drive. Just everybody give me a second. Yeah, I didn't know that I was gonna have to play it. If not, I would have been
Mm.
prepared. But give me.
I have it on my website, but I don't know how to transfer it to this medium here now.
Okay, I'm currently looking for it. Ah, there it is. Okay. Oh, I did save it on the hard drive. My computer was running out of space, so I kind of moved some stuff over there. So yay. Okay. I'm gonna start playing it.
Good. Good for you.
Yes.
You are great under pressure.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna full screen and share screen. And I'm gonna share the audio also so that you guys can hear it. Okay. Can you guys hear the video or no?
No.
No, okay. Let me,
This is not a silent movie.
yeah. Let's see.
Lifestyle medicine never is.
Nope. Gonna share this. Let's see. Okay, Velvet Revolution, and trying to share computer sound. There we go.
To a health promoting diet.
Okay. Can you
That's
hear
it.
it there?
Hello,
Yes.
I'm delighted to provide
Awesome.
some special support to solidify our commitment to a health promoting diet and health promoting lifestyle. And when we talk about a health-affirming diet, we usually focus on very simple foods. Foods as grown, plant-based, and whole foods. Have you noticed that people are moving more and more towards a vegetarian diet? Have you also noticed that the food industry is cashing in on that trend as they are producing vegetarian meats? The food industry now has identified the growing move towards a vegetarian diet and vegetarian meats as a revolutionary trend. But this trend towards exploring a vegetarian diet and vegetarian meats is also shared by another major industry, the American medical care system. Did you know that lifestyle medicine has emerged as the newest and fastest growing board-certified medical specialty? Lifestyle medicine is not only growing by leaps and bounds in our country, but it also has now been emerging in 42 countries around the world. As you may know, since I had been the person who had kind of pushed and promoted and used the name and the emerging concepts of lifestyle medicine since 1988, I wasn't totally surprised when a public health administrator recently introduced me with a new title. He referred to me as a velvet revolutionary. And so today's presentation, Augmenting Medicine with Lifestyle Medicine, the Velvet Revolution in Lithuania, will be presented by a velvet revolutionary. Of course, when we talk about a revolution, we usually associate this with a transfer of power. And that transfer of power is usually accompanied by means of violence. And that is usually illegitimate violence. But I want to talk to you as a velvet revolutionary about a velvet revolution. I'm obviously not advocating illegitimate violence. I'm advocating a non-violent transfer of power, and this transfer of power begins in the heart. It's executed by ethical and rational means, and it's centered on values that are self-evident and on truths that emerge on the basis of scientific evidence. The date, November 9, 1989, a pivotal event in the history of Europe. It marked the falling of the wall in Berlin. And with the falling of that wall that had divided Berlin into western and eastern sectors, into democratic and communistic sectors, with the falling of that wall, it also marked the disintegration of the Iron Curtain. As the Iron Curtain fell, so did communist countries in Central and Eastern Europe. And starting on November 9, in short order, these communist countries collapsed, and within 1 week, on November 17, Prague, the capital of Czechoslovakia, became the scene of a major uprising. Both students and the general population went into the streets to demonstrate for democratic reforms. Now, the leaders of the Soviet Union began to realize that bringing in the tanks would not squelch this massive insurrection. And within another week, the communist leadership resigned and turned over the power to the people for an idea that was right, that was truthful, and long overdue. And 4 weeks later, on December 29, the new parliament installed Václav Havel as a new democratically elected prime minister of Czechoslovakia. Now, let's shift from the bloodless velvet revolution in Czechoslovakia to another velvet revolution that is gradually taking place in Lithuania, where a whole country is getting involved in a dietary shift. This small Baltic country, situated next to Finland and Russia, is becoming serious about augmenting its Western-based allopathic medical system with the concepts of lifestyle medicine. The people recognize that they need to go beyond merely treating and managing the symptoms of chronic disease. They recognize that Western medicine can relieve symptoms with pills and procedures. They can make them feel better, which is all very important, but they also recognize that it cannot cure these chronic diseases because these modern common killer diseases are lifestyle related. They are largely influenced by our habits, our foods and drinks, our daily sleeping and exercise patterns, how we handle stress, and do we smoke, and do we overdo alcohol and caffeine. Allopathic medicine then can treat heart disease, but it cannot cure it. It can treat diabetes with pills, but it cannot cure it. It can treat high blood pressure with medication, but it does not cure it. It can lessen arthritis pain, but it cannot cure it. To take care of these common chronic diseases, Lithuania is amidst an emerging velvet revolution. It has been moving towards augmenting its traditional medical model with the newer concepts of lifestyle medicine, helping people change their habits and their culture. Going back to the disintegration of the Iron Curtain, it's not only Czechoslovakia that collapsed, or Hungary, or Latvia, or Poland. It's also Lithuania, where big changes took place in 1990. It was at that time, 1990, the Lithuanian Republic broke away from the Soviet system and kicked out the Russians. And in its place, they brought in the West, with all those liberating concepts inherent in a democracy. They brought in voting rights, gender equality, freedom, and liberation of all kinds. And they brought in once more the free market system. And with that, they brought in those unimaginable taste sensations. They had gone to heaven. I mean, when I drove into one of the gas stations to fill up my car, I could not believe what I saw. I thought I was in an American gas station. Everything you find here, you find there. Look at it. The Snickers and Mars candy bars, the Kit Kat and Twix, the Hershey chocolates, and the Reese's bars, and then the Coca-Cola and even the monster drinks they have there. But you also found Pringles and Amos chocolate chip cookies and Haagen-Dazs ice cream. It's all there now. The only thing that I hadn't seen before were those different hot dogs. I mean, they offered Hungarian hot dogs and German hot dogs and Polish hot dogs, and of course they had American hot dogs. All kinds of hot dogs. I mean, you can just imagine the exuberance after more than 45 years of taste monotony under the Russians. Now, at last, they could try to make up for all they had missed under the Russians with American and European delectables. At last, they could live it up, and they did. Western food, well, from a nutrition point of view, these are mostly empty calories. Rich in calories, poor in nutrients. I mean, a disaster in the making, and the trouble was beginning to brew. Within 25 years, a dramatic increase in the death rates of heart disease. While the cardiovascular death rate was 30% in America, the death rate in Lithuania was 59%, almost twice as high. And it reminded me of the saying, the way you live largely determines the way you die. Yeah. Then came January 2, 2014. I had just keynoted a national lifestyle medicine convention in New York City when I met Petras Vainius, a retired airline executive born in Lithuania and passionate about his country of birth. He kind of rushed me while blurting out, "Man, your lifestyle medicine concepts, that's exactly what we need in Lithuania to turn our chronic disease epidemic around. Just look at our death rates. My heart is aching for Lithuania. Look at heart disease and strokes. 59% of all deaths, and cancer is increasing too. These are American diseases. And look at our life expectancy. It's one of the shortest in Europe. We are in trouble in Lithuania." And I thought to myself, well, What can I do? I'm just one person. He must have read my mind, because he disarmingly said to me, look, no, you don't have to do it all by yourself. I'll help you to get into Lithuania, and we'll turn this epidemic around. We can do it together. Well, of course, we all knew then that about 80% of our chronic diseases are totally preventable if we would just make some simple changes in our lifestyle, particularly in our Western diet. We also had learned from Dr. T. Colin Campbell and his team about the close relationship between diet and chronic killer diseases, and between cholesterol levels and heart disease. We were stunned to learn that many Chinese people living in the provinces had cholesterol levels of 90 to 120 points, something unheard of in the United States, where we considered anything below 200 as being normal. The China study then, under the direction of Dr. T. Colin Campbell, had documented a direct relationship on a population basis between what people ate and how and when they died. We also knew from prominent Harvard studies that people could extend their life expectancy by about 12 to 14 years by making just a few simple changes in their lifestyle. Don't smoke, don't use alcohol, exercise every day, maintain normal weight, and follow a good, healthy diet. Those 5 habits were associated in translating into 12 to 14 extra years of life. The power of our lifestyle habits. Of course, we also knew that heart disease could be reversed with a simple diet. Here's Dr. Esselstyn from the Cleveland Clinic. He demonstrated convincingly that people with severe coronary artery disease, yes, severe heart disease, where the diameter of the arterial lumen was narrowed by atherosclerotic plaques consisting of cholesterol, saturated fat, and calcium, making it difficult for optimal blood flow to the heart muscle, thus causing serious angina pain. Dr. Esselstyn, he demonstrated convincingly that people with severe coronary artery disease could actually increase the diameter of the narrowed lumen of the coronary arteries, again by causing a partial melting down of these plaques on the inside of the arteries. How? By making some simple dietary changes. By eating more fruits and vegetables, more whole grains, and more beans and lentils, more plant-based foods, more whole, unprocessed foods, foods as grown. Look at the arteries of this patient in just 2.5 years. On the left-hand side, you see a severely narrowed coronary artery, reducing the blood flow to the heart muscle, causing crushing anginal pain upon effort. On the right-hand side, the same coronary artery, same patient, but this time the coronary artery is wide open, facilitating once again optimal blood flow to the heart muscle, no more crushing angina. The formerly narrowed artery is now wide open again. In his best-selling book, Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease, Dr. Esselstyn laid it out very, very clearly. And his peer-reviewed articles clearly stated stents and bypass surgeries may have their place under emergency situations, but for the vast majority of patients, they are not as effective as a very low-fat, whole food, plant-based diet. Take a look at the next slide. It portrays our current situation very well. What do you see here? You see water puddles on the floor, and you see uniformed people busily working their mops trying to dry the floor. They're totally devoted to getting the floor dry. They work day and night. They forget their families. They forget their golf games. They just mop and mop and mop. They're so concentrating on mopping and passing out umbrellas because that's what they have been trained to do. They're so occupied with the mopping that they have no time to stop and look for the source of all this water. Where is it coming from? So, how do you think we can solve that problem of the water on the floor? Do we need more moppers? Do we need better mops? What could help us here? Well, what we need is not more physicians and more nurses and better mops. What we need is a plumber to fix those leaking pipes. We need to go to the cause of the problem and not concentrate on the symptoms. As Mr. Petras Vainius was looking towards me to provide some possible solutions for Lithuania, fortunately for me, two of my famous friends, Drs. Campbell and Asselstein, had just been in Lithuania the year before and given lectures to the medical and public health communities. How fortunate for me in that I could now lay the next level onto the foundation that these experts had already laid for me. But here's Petras Vainius breathing down my neck. Sir, you've got to give us an answer on what to do in Lithuania. We need your help. What could I do? I couldn't change the society. I couldn't change the culture, could I? I didn't even know the culture. How do you transform a culture? And then it dawned on me, to turn the epidemic of chronic diseases around, we needed a medical system that had as one of its priorities to educate, to motivate, and to set an example of how to live a healthier life. But could the medical profession be changed? Or do we need to develop a new kind of a medical professional, a new doctor who specializes in treating chronic diseases, because chronic diseases cannot be arrested and cured with pills and procedures. These are diseases that are largely lifestyle and diet related. For instance, take type 2 diabetes. You can take all the medications you want, every year more and more and more. Eventually, you will take the needle, and every year the insulin dose goes up as well, more and more and more and more. And when you die of diabetes and its circulatory complications. The diabetic condition, in spite of all the medical efforts, in spite of all the pills and procedures, the diabetes was never healed. It got never cured. Or take high blood pressure, hypertension. You take one medication, after 3 months, you come back and see the doctor, and he says, well, I think we need to add another medication to get that blood pressure really down under control. Another blood pressure medication is prescribed. And then later, followed by an increase in the medication dose, because your blood pressure is not staying where it's supposed to be. And then, as a middle-aged man, somehow you feel there's some functional losses sort of setting in below the belt. Obviously, you have become concerned about erectile dysfunction. Could this be one of the side effects of the medications that you have been reading about? After all, it's stated that there are no drugs without negative side effects. You know, by way of review, first you took the drugs your physician had prescribed to lower your blood pressure. And as these medications increased over time, then you had to take medications for the side effects that these prescription drugs had actually caused. In the process, you missed a great chance of lowering and normalizing your blood pressure in a much more natural way. If only you could have learned that you have to cut back on your sodium, on your salt, that you have to increase your potassium that you find in fruits and vegetables, that you should perhaps add exercise to your program and get 7 or 8 hours of sleep at night, and some of those extra pounds of overweight, and perhaps become a nicer person, and your blood pressure would have come down in a more natural way in most cases. Well, it wasn't long when on my next visit to Lithuania, I suggested to the School of Medicine to introduce the concepts of lifestyle medicine to curb these chronic diseases and to facilitate a cure by attacking the causes, the lifestyle. Well, they were not sure that this would really fit well into their economic model. And to them, it didn't seem to be a good business idea. You mean you let your patients be their own doctor? Exactly. But they will be under your medical supervision. You will be the cheerleader. You will encourage them. You will help them to sort out the correct pathway. You will make sure that they make the right decisions. They will need you to empower them, to motivate them. At the end, I was advised, well, why don't you just better go to the School of Public Health and talk to the dean there? After all, what you're proposing, it's not really medicine, it's really a public health issue, isn't it? Well, out of this context then grew the idea that perhaps we needed to develop a new kind of a doctor of health science or a doctor of lifestyle medicine. That health professional then would direct the teaching of patients with chronic diseases to develop healthier habits by being exposed to the concepts of health and disease, to preventive medicine, and they would then become empowered through communication skills and group activities, and then also through legal support systems. And after all, health then was largely a matter of choice. Health was largely a matter of choice, not of chance. Teach them how to make better choices in matters of diet and exercises, about smoking and alcohol use. Make them aware of the ecological consequences of their choices. Make them aware of how in America we kill 1 million animals every hour to make our stomachs the graves of these animals. Well, the vision for such a doctoral program was laid out and shared. The curriculum would include therapeutic and public health nutrition, exercise physiology, psychology of behavioral change, communication skills, role modeling, epidemiology and statistics, and research methodology. I was amazed. The seed had been sown, and for extra support, I suggested that the university should also field a leadership team to come to America and to visit some of the emerging lifestyle medicine centers. They did. Seeing myself as sort of a travel agent for this undertaking, doors opened at some of the best-known universities such as Cornell University, Harvard University, and then also at Loma Linda University and at the Lifestyle Medicine Institute. The visitation of these lifestyle medicine centers facilitated good exchanges of ideas between both delegations. On the Lithuanian side, you had the deans and a member of parliament, as well as the future Lithuanian Minister of Health. On the American side, you had a dean and a provost, as well as eminent leaders such as Dr. Walter Willett of Harvard and Dr. T. Colin Campbell of Cornell University. And at the end, the vision of developing a new health professional to take care of chronic diseases was shared and accepted. However, the Lithuanian University felt that it might be wiser to postpone the doctoral program and to start with the development and implementation of a lifestyle medicine program at the master's level. And so they developed a 1.5-year program that was launched shortly thereafter in 2016. Now, some of you may be wondering what in the world is really lifestyle medicine? You have not really defined this for us. And how does its treatment approach differentiate itself from the treatment approach used in traditional or allopathic medicine? Well, let me focus on 6 major differences between allopathic medicine and lifestyle medicine. Okay? Difference number 1. When diagnosed with chronic disease, clinicians look for risk factors. These biometric markers then can identify different levels of risk. Take, for instance, heart disease and cholesterol levels. Allopathic medicine prominently treats elevated blood cholesterol with powerful statin drugs, thus lowering the risk of a second heart attack. However, most of these statin drugs are not prescribed for secondary prevention. They're mostly prescribed for primary prevention, and that is for people who have not yet had a heart attack in hopes of preventing that first heart attack, period. But there is little medical evidence that the lowering of blood cholesterol with statin drugs can effectively prevent an initial heart attack. On the other hand, high blood cholesterol can be lowered 20% with some dietary adjustments within 20-30 days. And in this case, for every 1% drop in cholesterol, the coronary risk will be reduced by 2 to 3 times the amount. Think about this. In concrete terms, a 20% drop in the cholesterol by dietary means will reduce the likelihood of a heart attack by 50%. Therefore, 20% cholesterol drop will cut the coronary risk in half without side effects from drugs and without $500 bills at the end of the year, and you can do it in 20 to 30 days consistently. Difference number 2, medicine focuses on the physical aspects of the disease and accepts patients as passive recipients of care. Lifestyle medicine, on the other hand, does it more holistically, explores the causes, and expects patients to become active participants in their own healing by making big changes. Then, difference number 3, medicine is centered on the physician. I will take care of you. I have studied this. I know what I have to do. I have the answers. Well, this then compresses the available time per patient. Lifestyle medicine, on the other hand, says, yes, we know, but we want to educate the patients to become more self-sufficient under your guidance in groups or videos. Then you have difference number 4. The treatments of medicine are usually short, with an emphasis on diagnosis, prescription, and referral. Lifestyle medicine, however, approaches the treatment as long-term care involving education, motivation, and follow-through. Difference number 5, prescription drugs are often the only treatment used by allopathic medicine. They're costly, they have side effects, and they're usually taken for life. In contrast, lifestyle medicine prescribes medications only if really needed. This reduces side effects and costs. And this seems to be a most practical way to make medical care more sustainable. And then you have difference number 6. Medicine is excellent at diagnosing the ill and matching it with a pill and then sending you home with a bill. Yes. Or referring you to another physician. Lifestyle medicine says, no. We will do everything we can here. With a medical diagnosis in hand, we can then integrate you into our allied health professional team to teach, to make the lifestyle changes, to support your health and your health recovery. Well, the Lithuanian leaders began to understand Western medicine is costly. It's big business in America, where the number 1 cause of business failure, it's really the medical bills that the patient couldn't pay. And where many doctors' visits are actually oftentimes reduced to a mere 10 to 15 minutes. On the other hand, lifestyle medicine offers not only medical group appointments, but also intensive education in groups and videos, which markedly then reduces the economic burden, and things can turn out economically well for everyone. So you see 6 major differences in the treatment of chronic diseases between modern medicine and lifestyle medicine. And the Lithuanian leaders begin to understand Western medicine is costly and not very effective, in that 86% of the American healthcare budget is devoured by managing the symptoms of chronic diseases, but where cures are rare and elusive. It's big business in America, where the number 1 cause of business failures is unpaid medical bills, and where many doctors' visits are often reduced to 10 to 15 minutes. On the other hand, lifestyle medicine offers not only medical group appointments, but also intensive education in groups and videos designed to empower the patient to begin the reversal process of many chronic diseases, which would prominently ease the economic burden. And in this scenario, everyone would do well economically, and most importantly, health would thrive. So, the Velvet Revolution in Lithuania, augmenting allopathic medicine with lifestyle medicine. The ground, it was prepared in 2013 when Drs. Campbell and Esselstyn lectured in Lithuania. A year later, in 2014, a concept was explored, the creation of a doctor of lifestyle medicine to focus exclusively on treating chronic diseases. 2015, a 48-page proposal for the creation of a doctorate was presented to the Dean of the School of Public Health of the Lithuanian University of the Health Sciences. The first step, a master's degree of lifestyle medicine, was approved and an academic curriculum formulated. In 2016, the vision was implemented. What dietary goals have been recommended? Look at this eating continuum and the health outcomes. On top, you see the level of health. On the far left, you find the worst health outcome, chronic diseases galore. On the far right, you find the best health outcome and vitality and the longest lifespan. Take a closer look at these two triangles. One is red, the other one is green. On the far left, the red triangle, you find the typical Western diet, heavy on meats, dairy, eggs, processed foods, alcoholic and caffeine drinks. On the far right, you find the optimal diet, with plenty of fruits and vegetables, lots of whole grains and legumes, and with some nuts and seeds and plenty of water to drink. And so this then is the diet that we would like you to aim for. Lots of foods as grown, plant-based, whole foods, fruits and vegetables, whole grains and legumes, some nuts and seeds, and plenty of water. And then you get your daily exercises, you get enough sleep at night, don't allow your stress to build up too much, and become a nicer person, and be sure you give your spouse some flowers from time to time. Take a look at the mission of crafting the curriculum for the first lifestyle medicine master's program in the world. It started in 2016, and then look at those proud first graduates in 2017. Despite the pandemic, the program has grown and grown, and many graduates are now leaving their marks in their new workplaces. At the same time, 48% of the applicants to joining the military in Lithuania have to be turned away because they're physically not fit to join. To remedy this, the Department of Defense of Lithuania has just announced that they are committed in assigning 15 to 20 cadets, these young soldiers, to undergo a special 14-day intensive lifestyle intervention program patterned after the CHIP program. These young soldiers will live in a very special spa area where they're exposed from morning to night through lectures, food demonstrations, and exercises. At the same time, they will receive 3 meals a day consisting of plant-based whole foods. Before all their biometrics, such as cholesterol, triglycerides, blood sugars, and blood pressures, weight, and so on, is measured to compare the effect of this 14-day experiment, and they will find differences just within 14 days of this new lifestyle medicine concept and lifestyle. Chronic diseases are, medically speaking, incurable, but largely curable by making lifestyle changes, because these common chronic diseases are largely lifestyle related. The Velvet Revolution is underway in Lithuania. There's a transferring of power beginning to take roots, a sharing of power where we go from managing symptoms to healing chronic diseases by empowering people to get involved in their own recovery. The forthcoming 5th International Lifestyle Medicine Conference in Lithuania says it all. The chronic disease solution, augmenting allopathic medicine with lifestyle medicine. The die is cast. We're looking forward to an outstanding velvet revolution in Lithuania that will hopefully become a pattern for other countries to follow.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hans, for the wonderful video. We will be opening up for some questions. Entonces, si alguien tiene preguntas, pueden quitar su video. Déjenme poner aquí que se pueda quitar el video y pueden quitar el mute de sus micrófonos para preguntar algo o lo pueden poner aquí en el chat, como prefieran. Okay, so Dr. Hans, are you still there? I don't know if he is. He is? Yes. Okay, he's on mute. But, well, Petras, I'm sure you can answer some questions as well.
Sure, sure. But you know, if you give them to me in Spanish, I think.
Yes, no. I will be translating. Don't worry about that. So we have our first question in the chat. Rafael Santana Miranda. He is working in sleep disorders clinic since, I'm going to read the question. I'm working in sleep disorders clinic since 20 years. I think the sleep restriction is a very important factor for the development of chronic illness. What's your opinion?
Well, you know, I cannot answer the question as the physician, but sleep, you know, sleep is a pretty important factor in lifestyle medicine. You know, if you cannot get proper sleep, you know, your body doesn't get a chance to sort of regenerate in order to continue next day's activities. I think it's probably pretty obvious, you know, and sleeping is one of the, you know, one of the characteristics which is part of lifestyle medicine. So, you know, I think that there really isn't much more than I can say, except for the fact that part of what lifestyle medicine is about, you know.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. If anybody else has a question, go ahead and unmute yourself. You can start the video or not and just ask away. Heidi,
Sí,
¿estoy diciendo bien tu nombre?
hola, buenas. Sí, Heidi. Buenas
Yeah.
noches. Nada más quería saber si le puedes preguntar cómo piensan hacer el cambio de alimentación. O sea, ¿lo van a individualizar a cada persona o lo van a hacer como generalizado? No entendí mucho eso, porque dejar de comer carne de repente implica mucho cambio metabólico, ¿no?
Sí, déjame ahorita le pregunto, o sea, yo creo que la idea ahí es no hacer el cambio general, sino creo que es de paciente a paciente, de cuenta entrenar a los médicos para que ellos individualmente hagan el cambio. Ahorita déjame le pregunto a Petras. So Petras, Heidi here has a question, and she's asking about the dietary change. You know, lifestyle medicine is very plant-based focused.
Right.
And how does the process of eliminating or reducing the consumption of animal products, like, is it like should it be an individualized approach, like from clinician to patient, or how have you seen better success in this world?
Well, you know, like Dr. Hans was talking about, there's a CHIP program, which is the Complete Health Improvement Program, which is, you know, it's basically something that was instituted, and especially in a format where there is group support. You know, habit formation is something which is a, you know, pretty, I guess, pretty strong thing for everyone. And there are some people who are individuals that I guess are pretty determined and motivated and strong when it comes to doing something about chronic diseases. But, you know, as as I've sort of participated in the CHIP program myself, I saw that the motivation in order to keep everybody pretty much on the path of getting healthy again from these chronic diseases is very much made stronger when there is support and people work together. Hans mentioned something about the immersion program, and all of this has been basically proven where you get people in groups in order to participate with all the different 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine, that you get these results. And the support that is really a crucial factor in order to get results for people to do something about the chronic diseases. So I think that that's something that has been already proven many times, and the results are pretty clear. So basically, if anybody's truly interested in making some improvement in their health, this CHIP program that Dr. Hans has mentioned is something that is used in order to achieve that.
Ok, muchas gracias.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Petra, so much, and thank you for the question. Si alguien más tiene cualquier pregunta, sin pena, lo pueden poner en el chat, lo pueden decir, pueden quitar su micrófono, lo pueden decir en español o en inglés, como prefieran, y pues bueno, aquí hacemos la pregunta.
If I can mention something,
Yes.
my role involving lifestyle medicine in the European Union and the Middle East, has to do a lot with what has developed with the Master's Lifestyle Medicine program. It started in 2016 in September, and I don't know if you can imagine this, but it was a very, very difficult thing in order to get through the medical community in Lithuania, because when it was proposed at the School of Public Health, the medical, I guess the whole medical group were saying, like, we don't need anything like this. We have everything under control. Meanwhile, statistically, heart disease, diabetes, and these other chronic diseases were really creating a lot of problems and a lot of, I guess, economic problems at the same time. So what had happened was it started in September 2016. Now we have August 2022. There's close to 100 graduates already, and there have been international students that have already participated. And what is happening now is that we are involved with a university in the United States that wants to take the complete master's program and offer it in the United States. And
Wow.
I think probably all of this will take place, and we're hoping for an announcement of this exchange and the partnership that's going to develop at the American College of Lifestyle Medicine conference, which will take place on between the 13th and 16th of November. And I guess maybe another fact to mention is that based on the activities and the interest in Lithuania, within not only the university but the medical community now, the military has become very interested in this, and they are in the process of implementing a program. This has been, I guess, initiated by one of the deputy commandants of the military academy to bring this into their curriculum at the start every year, when the cadets will really get an understanding of what not only lifestyle medicine is, but in order to keep the military at a very high level of not only physical fitness, mental fitness, and I guess psychological fitness. And we kind of expect this to basically happen and also announce these clinical results that will take place at the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. I guess, you know, maybe another point that ought to be worth mentioning is that the U.S. Air Force Academy has already implemented this program in Colorado Springs, you know, where the academy is. And there is one physician with whom the Lithuanian military has been collaborating in order to bring this also to the Lithuanian military. But their objective is that once Lithuania's military becomes a model for lifestyle medicine, they want to take this model and present it and integrate it with all the other NATO countries in Europe, you know. So these are some of the things that I guess I'm involved in. I'm not a physician, but I'm learning every day from all the people that we associate with, you know. So maybe this might give someone some kind of, I guess, a little bit of short background as to what effects lifestyle medicine has and how it has grown and it has flourished. And, you know, Lithuania basically is the only country where lifestyle medicine has been sort of integrated into the, you know, into the, I guess, you know, maybe well, I was going to say, you know, within the civilian community. Initially, you know, it's a shame that Dr. Thomas Vaičiūnas wasn't able to be part of our webinar today. You know, he's in, apparently he's in a location where there isn't much of a strong signal. He's up in the mountains somewhere in Poland on vacation. He planned to join us. I spoke with him yesterday, but he would be one that would be able to, you know, I guess, describe what the whole curriculum is. As a matter of fact, you know, the information for the Lifestyle Medicine Masters program, you know, can be found on the internet. So if anybody is interested in getting more knowledge and information of you know, maybe participating in the master's program, they can find this information there.
Yeah, that's incredible. We would really appreciate that information. And I mean, I guess that it would be kind of like the goal to eventually implement that in universities in Mexico and to implement that kind of education for doctors as well, because I feel, I mean, I think that you know very well that medical education is lacking in well, pretty much everything that lifestyle medicine has to offer. The part where they talk about nutrition, not just basic nutrition, but actually using it as a tool to reverse and prevent chronic disease and sleep and healthy connections and all these kinds of things. So I'm very excited to see what the path is next for Mexico. And I just want to make a little announcement. I'm going to do it in Spanish for everyone. Oigan, les quiero compartir que el Congreso de Medicina, Estilo y Vida, si quieren aprender más de todos estos temas y pues ser parte de un gran evento, ya tuvimos el primero el año pasado, va a ser el 4, 5 y 6 de noviembre este año en Monterrey, México. Ya pronto les estaremos compartiendo más información para que compren sus boletos y para que estén al pendiente, pero para que vayan separando la fecha desde ahorita y pues sepan que pueden ser parte de este movimiento, se pueden unir como miembros y pues pueden empezar a ser parte de este movimiento desde ahorita. Ahorita les voy a dejar todas las ligas y pues gracias a todos por unirse. Petras, I don't know if you have any, or si alguien tiene alguna pregunta, puede quitarse el mute y la podemos responder ahorita también. Entonces. Yes, I'm sorry about that. We're going to see if anybody has any remaining questions.
Right.
And just see. Okay. Anybody can just unmute themselves or type in the chat and hola Catalina.
Hola, hola.
¿Cómo estás? Gusto saludarte.
Muy bien, muy de acuerdo con todo lo que dijeron, la verdad me impresionó. No sé qué más decirte porque estoy de acuerdo completamente con lo que dijeron. Se necesita un cambio una manera diferente de vivir la vida, de ver la vida, de verla, escucharla, sentirla. Ya tenemos que cambiar todos. Change your mind, change your heart, change your feeling, change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, usually people wind up concerned about their health when they really get sick. You know, that's not the time. That's not the time to do it. You know.
Mhm. Fix the roof while the sun is shining, always.
Yeah.
So yeah, the time is now to take care of health and not until it's too late. So thank you so much. Gracias, Cata.
No, gracias a ustedes. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you
All right.
so much. So if nobody has any remaining questions, we'll just let Petras go back to sleep. Thank you so much for being here with us in the wee hours of the 3 a.m., 4 a.m. right now in Lithuania. It means a lot to us, and we're so happy to have had you here with us today and to share this movement with you and be in partnership to continue to spread this message. So thank you so much, and thank you, everyone. We will be contacting you very soon.
Okay, you're most welcome. Thank you too for having us. You know, Dr. Hans is an incredible guy. You know, he's really the person that not only developed the lifestyle medicine concept, but he has tremendous amount of experience with all kinds of, you know, clinical data, with all kinds of documentation, where basically, you know, proves very strongly that you can really do something about chronic diseases, you know. So
he's amazing, and he's been so generous to the association. He actually lent us the CHIP program for a few months last year, and I was able to take it, and it was life-changing. I mean, seriously, the information is just, it really needs to be everywhere, and that's what we're working on. That's the mission, to like get this information out. And I really thank you both for being here. I don't know if Dr. Hans can hear me. I think he's still there, but yeah, thank you all so much.
okay, all right, thank you, and I'm going to go
Bye.
back.
Yes, go back to bed,
Wonderful
please.
day.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Right,
Ciao.
Bye. Gracias a todos por
See you
conectarse.
later. Fujuan Lintong. Haula. Haula. How.
Bye, Cata. Bye todos. Gracias.